Hey, Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the TRN Rosefinch, which is a 12mm driver, as you can see. So different from the 14 point something kind of planars. And yeah, I'd like to thank Linsol for sending me this to try it, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, nor thoughts and opinions are my own. Now this is a true planar, so it's not like one of them square ones. And I think this is under $50, so it's definitely on the affordable side. And so no real information on the back, and yeah, let's just get into it. So let's see what you get. These are again more of a affordable planar. So it comes with quite light actually. They look heavier than they look. So some vents there. Planar driver, very light. Reminds me of like moondrop kind of tips. They feel a little bit sticky. I have to see what these are like. But yeah, you can just about see if the light catches it. It's like a circular planar. That's quite cool. Move them out the way. Bit of paperwork and warranty card. So tips, more tips, which I'll have a look at in a bit. So maybe, okay, so one of the modular cables, so I'll have a good look. So yeah, obviously I'll open these up in a bit, but yeah, again, I've not tried these. Again, 12mm planar, so it's a bit different from what they've done before. Not sure who actually makes this driver, so this should be again, should be quite a fun set. So yeah, I'll see you guys and girls in the future. Yes, so welcome to my review section of the TRN Rosefinch. And yeah, this is what it looks like with the cable. And also to note, it's one of these, you can change the connector. This is modular. Obviously you can see how it lines up. But this only includes the, you can see there, it only includes the 3.5 version. So yeah. Apart from that, as a cable, it's pretty good. Y split chin slider here, is not really effective. And that's what it looks like, obviously, on the IEMs themselves. That's pretty much it. So obviously it's a 2-pin design. It's the same as KZs and stuff like that. And that's it. So let's talk about comfort. So you can see it's very curvy, like curvature. I had no issues with it. They're not that secure, so when it's in your ear like canal supports it in a way, as you can see. But they're very light, so it's not too bad at all. And it comes with one pair of these kind of tips. Reminds me a bit of the like moondrop kind of tips, but it's not the same. But there's a lot of grip, so they're not bad tips at all. And yeah, so build quality is, again, like I said, they're very light. They seem okay. They feel a little bit cheap, but to be honest, it works fine because they've got a real planar in there. So pound sensitivity on these is a bit more difficult. So like with the KZ planar model, this is kind of the same. You have to throw a bit more power at it. But apart from that, it's not too bad really. Just bear that in mind. It's a 12 point something millimeter driver, and it's a real planar driver. And these are priced, I think, $45 when I checked. So $45 for a real planar driver is like crazy value for money. But I'll talk about obviously the sound in the mix is some good and bad, fortunately. Yes, talk about the timbre of these. So timbre of these, it does sound unnatural. It does sound off, which is a shame, but it is what it is. A few planars sound off with the tonality, but that's what it is with these. So resolution of these is, I found, very good because of, again, a benefit of planar is resolution, and the technical performance again is very good as well. You can't really see much, but from the good light you can just about see the driver. You can just about see in there. It's pretty hard to see, but you can see there. It's just like a circular one. But yes, so technical performance and resolution is very good. Stage was okay. There is a dip later on. If it didn't have a dip, it'd have crazy level, I think, stage, but it does have that dip. But it's planar, so you can use a bit of EQ magic at it to solve a few things. So yeah, so far there's a bit of good, bit of bad. Again, $45 for true planar, so that's quite a thing. So sound, I guess. So I'm going to overlay the graph now so you can have a look. Now you can see these are a V-shaped sound, but see they've got like thick, there's a lot of bass bleed. Now if this was a dynamic driver, it'd probably sound worse than it looks. Now I think because the driver's fast, the bass doesn't look as bleedy like it does on the graph. So bear that in mind, but it does bleed a bit. It's a shame that the sub bass rolls off. Some planars keep going there, but it is what it is. I think it may be the limit to the driver. I don't know, but I would have preferred a smoother lower mid range a bit, and then elevate towards the sub bass. Something I think like the Dioco does, that kind of ish low end. Or like the Tin P1 Max, for example, something like that. But obviously they are quite more expensive than this. But yeah, that's the bass. It doesn't have as much slam as you'd probably expect. But again, you can always EQ a bit to solve that if you're willing to do that. Because a few planars can take an EQ like a champ. And that's pretty much it. So mid-range is fairly clean. It's cleaner than it looks, but it's still a bit recessed. Vocals I found as well was quite shy for females. You can see the upper part of the mid-range, it isn't really that forward. I think because the bass kind of overshadows that. But yeah, vocals are actually okay. Not some like higher pitched female vocals. You do notice them, but if they're not that high pitched, it tends to be a bit of a softer appearance. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So this is probably where the negative part is the treble. As you can see, there's a lot of it. Now sometimes some tracks can sound like dry or brittle because of that big. You can see the 5k to like 8. Now there is a peak there from the coupler, but a lot of that is real treble there. And then you can see it drops off like a cliff and then shoots back up. Now if it didn't drop off, just come up to 10k, this would sound really big. But that dip does affect the air to it, as you say. But yeah, I wish it was a bit of more of a balanced tune. I think they could have done a bit more work with this, and this would have been a really, really awesome planar for like $45. But that tuning is the tuning. Now, if you're willing to EQ, like I've said a few times, planars do like EQ. Now, this is probably where this model will stand out. If you're willing to use a bit of, PEQ, to be honest, and tune it to where you want, or tune it closer to where you want. This is where this would be really good value for money. But from out of the box, as you can see, not my kind of tuning. I offer a smoother, flatter mid-range, probably a little bit more forward upper mids, a little bit, and then probably a more smoothed off treble, and then more sub bass. So these don't suit my tuning, but for what I listen to, say typically electronic or some techno, for example, it does take it quite well, but it is fatiguing because of that treble. But it does take fast music in its stride. It's not a problem. That's where I think it does a little bit of a better job than a DD, like really fast music. It can just take it in its stride a bit better. And that's pretty much it really. So conclusion, do I recommend these? Yes, if you're willing to EQ. If you're not willing to EQ, I don't really recommend them. But if you are willing to EQ for like $40 to $45, these are crazy value for money for a real planar. With obviously 3 different style tips. You got these in the obviously in the packaging you got like the normal black tips and these like normal white tips. They're nothing special. Then you obviously got these two ones. Obviously they're very light, so which is obviously is a benefit. And the cable it comes with is actually decent. They are not what I'd like for tuning, but if you're willing to throw a bit of time at it, they might work very well for you. But from out of the box, it's not my kind of thing. I prefer more balanced, cleaner tuning to these. Then it'd be a bit more, I think, universal for obviously different sound, music styles and stuff like that. But yeah, for 40, I think $45, they're not a bad set, but you need to throw time at them to, in a way, fix them. But then again, these are so much cheaper than any other Planars. There was the PR1 Pro from KZ, which I think for a time with a code you could get for much cheaper. I never tried those. Again, you could probably EQ them, but I don't have this. These are by far the cheapest proper planar I own. And obviously with the EQ you can solve many of the issues, but it takes time and effort. But out of the box experience, I think there may be better options out there. And I think that's pretty much it. Kind of a longer video, but I wanted to get it all out. So yeah, that's what they look like. So yeah, as usual, I think that's going to end it there. As usual, if you want to know anything particular, please do let me know in the comments. As usual, thanks for watching and take care there. And I'll see you in the next video.